Just walking. Let's do some math. Hello. Let's do this. So, we have this question right here. The table shows the cost of a membership and fruit baskets at a discount warehouse club. So, like a Costco, like a Sam's Club, like I don't know where else, okay? So, it says here membership fee is $30, right? And it says a fruit basket is $15. Mrs. Williams, you know what? Let's just pretend it's me. Mr. Quick paid a total of $105 for his annual membership fee and several fruit baskets as gifts for my coworkers. Solve the equation 15x plus 30 equals 105 to find the number of fruit baskets Mrs. Williams purchased. So what we're doing right here should be pretty straightforward. We are going to be solving for x, right? So I'm going to rewrite the little equation that they've given us so graciously. Thank you, McGraw-Hill. Everyone say thank you. Thank you. So we're just going to be solving for x right here. So I'm going to subtract 30 from there, right? I need to do the opposite thing. I think I touched all this in the last video, so we should be pretty okay with doing this. So what's 105 minus 30? That's going to be, oh Lord, the pressure's on. 75. I knew that all along. Then we have 15x, right? And then we have this 15x equals 75. 15x is connected through multiplication. We have to do the opposite, which is division. So we're going to divide by the 15 right there. And since I did that to one side, I did it to the other side too. So those cross out. I'm left with just x equals 75 divided by 15. I know that one. It's 5. But so what does this x represent? Well, I mean, the whole time we're finding x, and we need our answer over here is the amount of fruit baskets that Mr. Quick purchased. What does x represent? Well, x represents the amount of fruit baskets that Mrs. Williams purchased. Thank you very much. I'm going to do a few more. Get ready. We have here now question 2. A face painting artist's fee for parties is shown in the table. So for every 2 hours that this person's going to be there at a party painting faces, little butterflies, stuff like that. For every time that this person is there for 2 hours, they're going to charge $49. Every time this person's there for 3 hours, they're going to charge $73.50, et cetera, et cetera. It says here, customers are also charged $25 reservation fee. So what that means is no matter how long this person is there painting faces, that person is going to charge $25 to be there. Whether they're there for 2 hours or 5, or anywhere in between, they're going to charge $25 no matter what. And then it says a school has $175 to spend on face painting artists for their carnival. So for how many full hours can they hire this artist, okay? So we have to make an equation, okay, much like we did in question number 1, okay? So I'm going to just draw a little equation template right here. It's going to be blank x plus another blank equals another blank, all right? So let's start with the blank here not associated with the x, right? Not being multiplied by the x. So what here isn't dependent on something else, okay? In the chart we have right here, it says this is dependent. The fee is dependent on the amount of hours that this person works, right? But if we read the paragraph down below, it says here that customers are charged $25 reservation fee. That represents a fee that's not associated with any hourly or daily or any other interval-y charge, right? It's just a flat rate, okay? It's just a flat fee no matter what. So that's what's going to go over here. It's not being influenced by anything else, as is this other thing in front, other term in the front. Okay, I'm going to underline the last one in yellow. So what is this all going to equal before we even get to the X part? What is this all going to equal? Well, it says here that a school has $175 to spend on this face painting, right? So can the school spend more than that? No, it cannot, right? That's its limit that it can spend. Can it spend less than that? Yeah, but we want to know how many full hours they can hire this artist, right? So over here, and where it equals, is going to equal 175, all right? And then lastly, we have this term with the x variable, right? So what does that x variable represent here? It's like we have to be able to multiply something by the X to get to something else, right? So it's dependent on the X variable, right? So that's what it's going to be in this chart right here. Our hours are going to be X, right? This person says they're going to work at a party painting faces at an hourly rate, right? So we got to know what the hourly rate is, okay? We know what the 2 hourly rate is and the 3 hourly rate, okay? But we don't know what the 1 hourly rate is, right? It's not listed here, okay? There's a few different ways we can find it. I'm going to show you one of them that will always work right now, all right? We can do our second column divided by our first column, right? So 49.00, I'm not going to include that, divided by 2, right? And we should all know what a fraction of disguise is, right? Yes, it's division. Great job, Mr. Quick. So 49 divided by 2, that I totally didn't do on my calculator right now, it's 24.5, right? Or since we're talking about money here, $24.50, right? So that's person's hourly rate, okay? So it's going to be 24.50, okay? And so why is that going in the blank and not in the X? Well, the X represents the hours, the thing in the first column over here, okay? So we multiply that hourly rate times the amount of hours that this person worked to figure out how much this artist is going to charge the customer, whoever's reserving them for the party. Okay, then you would just solve from here. I'm not going to do that because we just did it in question 1. You should be able to replicate it again in question 2. So I'm going to go on to another question. Hang tight. What's up? Okay, we're doing question number 7. So it has a scenario here at the top. At the start of a school trip, a minibus contains 28 gallons of gas. Each hour, the minibus uses 6 gallons of gas. The bus will stop when there are 4 gallons of gas left. So the first thing we want to do, it says to complete this table to show how many gallons of gas there are remaining after 1 hour, 2 hours, and 3 hours have passed, okay, of driving this bus, okay? So that's a pretty simple task. It tells us up top that the minibus has 28 gallons of gas to start, right? 28 gallons to start. And every hour, the minibus uses 6 gallons of gas, okay? So if it starts with 28 and it uses 6 gallons of gas every hour, how much will be remaining in the tank after the first hour has passed? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going to do 28 minus 6. That's going to give me 22, okay? What about the next hour? Well, the next hour is still going to pass. It's still going to lose another 6 gallons of gas. So we're going to subtract the 22 total by 6. That's going to get us to 16. Right? That's a number 2 right there. And then for the number 3, it's the same pattern. Every single hour, it's 6 gallons of gas passing, right? Or excuse me, you're losing 6 gallons of gas every hour. So another 6, okay, and then I'm going to have 10, right? So 22 gallons after 1 hour, 16 after 2, and 10 after 3, all right? We have part B of that same question right here. So it says to write and solve an equation to find out how many hours will pass before the minibus will have to stop for gas, okay? So if we remember our question that we just had before, it said that the bus started with 28 gallons in the tank. It loses 6 gallons every hour that it's driving, and then it stops when it only has 4 gallons of gas remaining in the tank. It stops and gets gas. So how are we going to write an equation with this, right? Well, it started with 28 gallons. You know, it's like a very big number. Generally, you're going to find that at the end of the equation, right? Or isolated by itself on one side of the equation, of these two-step equations. It stops at 4 gallons. So this information right here doesn't really say like it's dependent on something else. It's just whenever I get to 4 gallons, the bus will stop, pull over, and get gas ASAP, right? Once it reaches 4 gallons. So it's not dependent on anything else except for once it reaches that 4 gallon mark. So that's going to be alone, okay, without an X variable attached. And then it says this loses 6 gallons every hour. So that 6 gallon loss is is dependent on the hour that's passing, right? It's dependent on that hour, right? Um, so you're going to represent that with a 6x, right? And what does the x represent there, right? It's always good to understand what the variable represents, right? What is it dependent on, okay? Or excuse me, what is the coefficient in front of it dependent on, which is the variable? The variable here will represent every hour that passes, right? This 6-gallon, measure is every hour. If it's 1 hour, well, when the bus spends 1 hour on the road, that's a 6-gallon loss. When it spends 2 hours on the road, that's a 12-gallon loss. How do I know that? Well, I replace the x variable with either a 1 or a 2, okay, and multiply it by the 6, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to end it right there. Peace out.